Welcome back to the lab. I think it's Wednesday, something like that. We're kind of in that fuzzy little bit just before Christmas where some things are open and some things aren't, and people are generally pretty helpful, but you're not going to get a lot done. So that's fine. We're cranking away. I told you I was going to paint that bumper. You can't see the bumper, can you? What do you reckon? I think it looks all right. I don't think it looks perfect, and it wasn't supposed to. And there would be a significant amount more effort in the right areas, of course, to make it perfect. And I use that term loosely because I'm sure there's better ways to do it. This won't be the most aerodynamic thing in the world, but we didn't have a lot of choice. Basically, you got to kind of follow the original sort of shape of the car. It's supposed to be based on a production vehicle, so we can't go completely nuts and just take all these panels off the front of the car and make something that would be perfect aerodynamically. Although technically you probably get away with it as long as it still looks like one of those ugly little shopping trolleys that your grandma drives, which sort of does if they made a rally car version of that. So that's good. Certainly from a reasonable distance, it's good, it's shiny. That area there was out in the sun baking some other bits and pieces that I'd done in the sun, and that got quite warm and squishy and went in and stayed in. Kind of hoping when it gets warm some other time it might come back out, or it might not. I don't really care all that much. I could fix it by undoing a couple of things back here and pushing it back in. I may or may not sort that. So that's done. That's pretty much almost good to use. I want to put, you'll see a tiny little rivet here somewhere. It needs some fasteners around here to attach the carbon fibre to the plastic. Ideally you'd make that all in one piece, and that may happen later on, but right at the moment that's definitely not going to happen. It's too much time and money. We are attached at these top corners here. That's got several layers up there. It's nice and strong. I put a piece of aluminium around there at the base on the inside of it. We've put lot of resin in there, so I need to get it up on the hoist, get the BMW off there, put some screws in through onto the splitter to attach it to the bumper, because the bumper is supposed to hold the splitter. At the moment nothing's holding the splitter, so that's fine. That needs dealing with. It's easy enough. Hopefully there will be no dramas with that inside here, aside from getting everything dusty and dirty. I finally made that little panel that you see and behind the steering wheel there. That I finally attached the bottom of the dash to the transmission tunnel. Originally nothing really happened there. I had some cable ties onto the fire extinguisher mount, which was around the other way, so it was attached to the back there just to stop it boinging around, and kind of left it at that. That was sufficient. Worked for whatever it is, 3-4 howls a car. Worked for that long with no issues at all. But now it's attached properly, and it won't boing anywhere near as much. It still moves if you give it grief, but she's pretty attached, pretty good. I need to do the same with this. I've taken this out. This is no longer attached. We can just pick that up and flick it around at the moment, but few rivets on there and that'll be good. Then I went to the back of the car. I said I need to do the diffuser. Where is it? The diffuser thingy that's behind here that we can't see. You're making me walk. It's late in the afternoon. Now this is not finished obviously, because although these are red and red things make you go faster, they're not really sufficient for holding on at 200 and whatever we're going to do. Hopefully we'll be doing 250 k's an hour or pretty close to it. I was debating what I was going to do. I wasn't quite happy with how I'd set it up originally, and I've chopped and changed things. I'm not sure. Oh, my knees are going to creak and groan. I probably will trim those tips up, but I put basically a 45-degree radius bend on there to get our tips away from the bottom of our plastic bumper. If I'd left the pipe straight, which would have been nice for downforce and flow and all that sort of carry on, it was just too close to the bottom of the bumper here, and I didn't really want to chop away at the bumper anymore. I could do, but I just thought that it just, how much, if you start leaving it so you go up to this panel line where the bottom of that arrow is there, then there's not really any bumper left at all. And what's the point in having it? At which point you just take it off. And the car didn't look bad without it. A little bit of tidying up, we would have been alright. But I think this is a good solution. I don't think we've got so much angle that we're going to reduce the amount of downforce that we've got. And of course you can see that that's held on there permanently with our fluoro masking tape. That'll be absolutely fine. It's not going to fall off. And that black line on there means absolutely nothing. I'm not even going to bother trying to trim those so that it's a little bit nicer. They'll be perfect just like that. That's how we're going to run it. So I think we've got a pretty good shape here now. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And people argue about stuff and things. They'll go on the internet and learn how to be an aerodynamicist, and they'll come along and they'll say that it's too tall, it's too high, it's this, it's that. That's fine. They can build their own race car and make their own race car work. I'm just going to make it. So I'm happy with it. So it looks good. You can see there's the original hole in our, what are we going to call it, end plate that had the panel in it. So I've lifted it up a bit, not heaps, just enough so that I had to then trim into that back edge before it folds and goes up to the support. So a little bit of a fiddle, much nicer. I will build a couple of fences or strakes or guide vanes or doofers to put under here, but at the moment that would actually work reasonably well as far as stuff and things. It should work. Yep. So our dinosaur's back again, and there pretty much nothing's happened. I like the look of those stainless steel exhaust pipes right now. I told you that way back when I was making those and polishing those. I said I'll polish them up now. They'll look like rubbish later on, but at some point when it's on the dyno and they've been at a certain temperature, they're going to look really good. And they do. Probably better in person than what they do on the camera. Nothing much has happened in here. We're pretty confident. Well, I'm pretty confident. I know what the problem was on the dyno. We'll just see if we can get there. I've made a few phone calls. There's ugly face cam again. I've made a few phone calls just trying to cover bases and just see what we've got, what options there are, who could potentially help and all that sort of carry on. And as expected this time of year, they're just too busy, right? So, and the holiday period, all that sort of stuff, and all the work that's booked in for next year. One or two maybes, actually three, if I'm honest. There's three people that are basically, if you're in a bind, give us a call, we can probably help out. So that's good, but I don't want to be pushing things too far. Like I said earlier on, you pull all the strings you can pull to get there to the racetrack, and then you have a rubbish day anyway. Something silly goes wrong, you fall off, and the first thing you do is blow a tyre off its bead and waste the rest of the day trying to fix that. So we'll just see. I'm pretty sure Mr. Juno that we were dealing with earlier on, he's probably going to help us out, I think, but I don't want to put him out too much. We'll just see how things play out as far as that goes. Just behind me there, over my left shoulder, just there's that blue thing on the sack trolley. That's Go Juice for the March, so we've got that taken care of. Thanks to Dave at Auto Store in Te Aroha, I think he is now. Used to be at Taupori. He's at Te Aroha. So we've got that taken care of. I'll just knock all the rest of these little dumb things off, like securing the splitter and all that. Get all those things all done. We'll see how it goes. We'll either be there running or not. Oh, that's it. Thanks for watching. I will try and do some updates, but Christmas is getting pretty close, so may or may not happen before then. But thanks for all the support over the year, over the how long's the channel? It's, I don't know. Good to see subscribers increasing, views are pretty good, likes are pretty good, comments, etc. We could work on that. the older logarithm on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe and all that. The reason why people say that is because it pumps it all along and it makes it all work good and it earns me more money. But it's not much money. But it helps, right? So, good. Right. Merry Christmas. Probably see you before New Year. You'll see me. And hopefully we'll get this car going for the restaurant. Cheers, bye.